Hello and welcome to this episode of The Platform, where we host experts from the market to discuss business matters. When we talk about traditional markets in Bahrain, we recall the narrow alleys, the chatter of buyers and sellers, and the scent of perfume and spices. But on top of that, the glow of gold. Bahraini gold enjoys a good reputation locally, regionally, and internationally. It is known for its strict purity standards and unique designs inspired by the local culture with a touch of Indian, European, and GCC designs. Today we'll talk about factors affecting the gold market in Bahrain and opportunities in this pivotal sector with our speaker in the studio. He is the founding member and treasurer of Bahrain Pearl and Gold Jewelry Association, Mr. Muhamed Hussain Mualim. But first, let's watch this report.
Today we want to understand the impact of the fluctuations in gold prices on the gold market in Bahrain. How did it affect the customer's appetite to buy or sell gold, and how did it reflect on the sales of the shop market in Manama? We will get all questions answered directly from the experts.
Bahraini gold has its own reputation, and what makes it special is purity and its color and its design.
The customer will choose the designing is better. They always buying the gold. The Bahraini design is like everybody like the Bahraini designs. The famous in the Gulf and other countries also will come the visitors from the Europe, from the other place. They will like the gold of the Bahraini designing.
If you would take Bahrain gold, you will look this the stamp. I will take it with I'm happy to take the gold Bahrain. This very things of purity, and another things it is the design. Design of Bahraini design. This is famous, coming from Qatar, from Saudi, from Emirates, from all GCC, and also from Middle East.
يعني الذهب البحريني الوحيد في الخليج اللي ينفحص من أصغر قطعة إلى أكبر قطعة من قبل مكتب الفحص الذهب كله مضمون.
Customer mostly like Bahrain gold. Mostly Saudi people they like too much Bahrain gold. With its color and quality, all Bahrain gold is very good.
Bahraini gold almost the normal like this design, Kursi Jabbar, and have like this Murtasha, Habilel, like this traditionally. Most of them they are buying like this gold.
Customers buy gold for wedding, marriage, Eid, Ramadan, for gifts.
For this moment, especially in the gold in general, the gold is the price. The first thing is the price. The price is coming too much high. Depends on the last period of time, from Corona and before. This depends on the situation of the world coming up. And also we have another things is the VAT. The VAT coming more for the price.
Actually now is people buying little less because of the VAT is 10%. Customers buying now compared to last year now less.
Nowadays gold price is between increasing and decreasing, but after adding the VAT, customer interest became lower.
في أي وقت الواحد حط شانسه ويجرب. يعني الذهب مثل ما قلت لك زينة وخزينة.
Back to the studio with my guest, Mr. Muhamed Hussain Mualim. Thank you, Mr. Mualim, for being with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for asking me to come here.
Right. Let's start by talking about the gold market situation in Bahrain, especially given the global market challenges such as instability in some markets and the inflation rate.
Well, from 2022, the 10% VAT increased, and then later the instability in economic world. The market is playing very slow, and it's common to everybody in Bahrain. Currently, if you say the market is covering only 40% of total business, 45% of total business of when compared with 2021. Surprisingly, 2021 was very good after the corona. But in 2022 from January, people still they are not taking it. 10% VAT is going to help the country to develop, and that kind of feeling is there. In gold value, 10% people are little bit hesitant to pay. 10% is a big amount for gold as a commodity. If making charge 10% extra, people easily will take. But as a commodity, the gold value is very high already, and charging 10%, so people are hesitant. Slowly we believe they will understand this. This money goes to the development of the country. It's our duty to pay to the government. So people will understand. So we expect the current situation will improve slowly.
Right. This brings me to my next question, which has to do with the workmanship rates. Many people complain that the workmanship rate is very high, but what determines this rate?
It's a very good question. It's kind of misconception, I think. Workmanship is the only way where the jewelers making their profit. In gold, we are selling gold on international market rate. There is no profit on selling a gold as a metal. Whereas when we are selling jewelry, the workmanship is the only way, as I want to explain to you a little bit more. For example, if we make a traditional Bahraini gold jewelry, which we call plain jewelry, the workmanship is minimum. But still it takes hours to manufacture a piece of jewelry. So we calculate a piece of jewelry is manufactured in a day or in half a day. As per that time consuming by the labor, the manufacturing charges, labor, it's called in many ways, labor charge, manufacturing charge, workmanship, whatever you call. So we found out how much the effort of a goldsmith spend on that piece of jewelry. We decide the making charge. For example, if it is a 10 gram piece of gold used to manufacture a jewelry, that time consumed for 5 hours or 4 hours to manufacture that piece. So we put charges on that piece of jewelry per gram. Per gram may cost us 1 dinar to manufacture that jewelry. So 10 gram jewelry will cost 10 dinar. So we have to add our profit only there, nowhere else. Metal is sold as international market rate. So we have to add our profit at least 20%, 30% on that. So in Bahrain, generally, the plain jewelry goes on making charge per gram 1.5 dinar, 1 dinar, 300 fils, which is, if you say honestly, the 300 fils per gram is the profit to the jewelers, or 500 fils per gram is the profit to jewelers. Wow. So it's not high. When compared with other Middle Eastern countries, Bahrain is the lowest for labor charges. This is for traditional Bahraini plain gold jewelry. The next stage is the pearl jewelry. Pearl jewelry, or next to it is the diamond jewelry. We have manufactured all the three here in Bahrain. Plain jewelry manufactured here, pearl jewelry manufactured in Bahrain, diamond jewelry manufactured in Bahrain. So all these three, out of this first one, which is plain jewelry, pearl and diamond jewelry consume a lot of time. Right. And it need a very specialized artistic nature of the labor. And he spent time, many days, to create one piece. It cannot be mass produced in Bahrain. And we most of the jewelers who manufacture pearl jewelry or diamond jewelry, they produce by piece. So this will take more time, so the charges will be much higher than plain jewelry. Right. Here also, when you buy piece of diamond jewelry or pearl jewelry, the gold and pearl cost to be added, or gold or diamond to be added, then manufacturing cost. So this is the system where customer feel it is little bit high, but no one can say, okay, you buy a piece of gold and keep it at home. You want to wear it, you want to show the class, right? You want to enjoy the piece of jewelry, so we must prepare to pay for the making charge. That's called a labor charge, whatever it is. So it is a kind of misconception that making charge is very high in Bahrain. It is wrong. It's lowest in other Gulf, compared with other Gulf countries, except Saudi Arabia, which is almost equal to us. But Bahrain's standard of finishing quality is much better than any other countries.
Right. Now, speaking about the manufacturing costs, or what we called the workmanship costs, most people working in these workshops are from India and Pakistan. Is this due to the history of trade between Bahrain and India?
So, Indian and Pakistanis came in a big number in 1950s, 60s to work as a workman in this gold field. And they are very successful. And they learned from Bahraini style, Bahraini tradition, how to manufacture Bahraini traditional jewelry, and they are very successful. But now this system, as you said correctly, the manufacturing side only dominated by Pakistanis and Indians. But in retail trading, there is a lot of Bahrainis dominating. That's a good development in recent time. If you see retail trading in last 10-15 years, a lot of new younger generation Bahrainis are entering into the business. Thanks to our effort from the chamber, when we were having a gold committee here, we run many workshops, and as our association run many workshops to train Bahraini. We used help of GIA, Geological Institute of America, HRD, the Diamond High Council from Belgium, and GIT, Thailand, the Jewelry Association. We brought them here, we trained Bahrainis with the help of Tamkin. So the Bahrainis are in a big way, whoever we trained, now I am seeing 90% of them, at least, or 80% we can say, already entering into this business on a retail side. Right. They are running their own workshop also, as well as retail shops also. It's a big movement, what happened in last 10 years. 10 years before, only those traditional jewelry houses, I no need to name them to you know. But now it's a lot of entry. I can say around 100 or 80 to 100 new Bahraini entrepreneurs enter into this business. It's a welcoming move. We are very happy to say. But still that vacuum on the workmanship side.
That's very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Now, coming back to something that you mentioned early in the interview about the tourists, you said not so many tourists come to Manama Souk nowadays, or to gold shops in Manama nowadays. Now, you've been in the market for how many years?
42 years now.
42. That's impressive. So you've seen the highs and the lows of the market.
Yes.
In your opinion, what should be done to attract more tourists and to make Manama Souk more attractive?
The jewelry industry in Bahrain, as I told you, I'm running my business here last 42 years, since 1982, 40 years exactly.
Impressive.
When I came here, I saw there was a big, Bahrain was hub, you understand, hub of jewelry industry for all the Gulf. Those days, even Dubai, there is no manufacturing activities. There was no manufacturing activity in Kuwait or Qatar or UAE. All the jewelers were buying from here. All other countries' jewelers were buying from Bahrain, or they were buying from India. Okay, or high-end jewelry was coming from Italy and Switzerland. But major Bahraini traditional jewelry was manufactured only in Bahrain. It was one time. I am talking about 70s and the 80s. Slowly, this went down. There was a lot of restriction, and the reason is the most of the workshops were in Manama, were residential area, which is definitely a jewelry workshop is to produce hazardous gas and this kind of pollution. So government want to restrict. we were asking long time, we were planning ourselves, or we are approaching authorities to have a gold center where we can have all the workshop in one place, around 240 workshops in Bahrain now. We can bring them under one roof where we can have all the latest scientific equipments to absorb the pollution, the hazardous gases, and we can have our assay office there, customs there, banks there. So everything, it can be kept in one place where it will give a lot of job opportunities for Bahrainis, and Bahrainis can purchase the units and expatriate can purchase units, and it can bring foreign investment to Bahrain. So it impact very much in Bahrain economy. At the moment, around 15,000 people are involved in this trade. Around 600 jewelers, 240 workshops. But just imagine, there is no such thing as like DMCC in Dubai or other areas. There is no such one unit. There all the jewelers can operate, which will attract even tourists also. Okay, foreign investment, I told you, very much, because investment is gold is a huge. So it will invest foreign investment, which is very important to country, and it can bring in more people, more job. So this one which we have, because of lack of this facility, the jewelry trade, manufacturing has gone down. Now we are manufacturing only for Bahraini demand, which we required for Bahrain, plus only a little amount to be exported because of the lack of facility. There is facility in Heath where we can go and open, but it is all challenging to us. If we get something very near to Manama, there are a lot of space available, which we are asking authorities to look into it, and we proposed many plans. And inshallah, if it happens, that will be very good for Bahraini market. Coming to your second question, how will it attract more tourists? I think Ministry of Tourism is doing something to attract foreign, especially the Director of Culture also. They are doing a lot of things to attract tourists to Manama area. But we are concerned not only Manama area, as a jewelry association treasurer, I am concerned on whole Bahrain. I am not only concerned about Manama or Sara Sheikh Abdullah, this area. There are Jeddah market, there are Sheikh Ahmad the town market, Isa town market. So we want people to go spread everywhere and let them see the designs of Bahraini traditional jewelers or pearl jewelry. Let them enjoy. So there should be some connected plan that they should discuss with jewelers. Well, they are making their plan, they should discuss with jewelers also how to improve, because jewelry is traditionally one of the main attraction of Bahrain.
Right.
So at one time, before invention of oil, the pearl was address card of Bahrain, right?
Yes.
The pearl. I mean, I'm talking about hundreds of years before, even thousands of years before. The pearl is the address of Bahrain, which created a brand. In 200, 300 years period, jewelry is added another brand of Bahrain. You can see any Gulf countries, you can see, if you visit jewelry shops, some shops will have name board. Bahraini jewelry available. This is already created a brand for Bahrain.
Yes.
So the pearl and Bahraini gold has to be developed. And it's in fact, as you correctly mentioned, it is an attraction for tourists. There are, I remember people from many countries, which Gulf countries, they used to come only to buy jewelry to Bahrain.
Why did they stop?
Kuwait, the whole Gulf, so Suq al-Dahab market, which is in Sara Sheikh Abdullah, the original, the old Suq al-Dahab. When I was opening there, that time, the whole market was, we can say every day, 50% of the people who are visiting inside are from Kuwait or either Qatar. They totally now stopped. Because the jewelry what they want available on their land also now.
Right.
The manufacturing hub of Bahrain that we lost that position, and this Bahraini manufacturer who owns manufacturing in Bahrain went there, they opened their factories and they are manufacturing same type of jewelry and marketing it as Bahrain jewelry.
Yes.
This is also another reason. So we almost lost this tourist market who came only to buy jewelry. Now we are getting tourists who are coming to visit Ministry of Tourism programs or Director of Cultural programs, same time buying.
Right.
And those days, another point, most of the families in the Gulf, they purchased their wedding jewelry only in Bahrain. That is also lost. We can bring it back if a consolidated effect happening between various department and our association. We can sit down and we can make a program to bring back that glory. That is my point.
To conclude, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Muhamed Hussain Mualim, for joining us in this program. And I'd like to thank you, dear viewers, for watching. And until I see you in another episode of The Platform.